Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Draft Review Series presented by Deep Fried Draft. My name is Brian Bosarge. We're going to finish up the NFC North now and talk about the Minnesota Vikings. The Vikings runners up in the NFC Championship game last year to the Eagles. So, very talented roster. But they had three quarterbacks on their roster last year, none of which are there now. But they did sign Kirk Cousins as a big free agent pickup, so we'll see if he's the guy that can take them over the hump. But like I said, their core roster is still there, and they did a really good job, especially in the later rounds of this draft. Well, let's start with pick 30 in the first round. They take corner Mike Hughes from UCF. Not what you call a pressing need, but you got to start paying some of these other guys, and maybe you decide not to, so that's where Mike Hughes comes into play. Hughes had some off-field issues, got him kicked out of North Carolina, and those same off-field issues kept him from being able to enroll at South Carolina, so he ends up at UCF, where he helps them win a national championship. They didn't really win a national championship. But anyway, Hughes also an excellent return man, so got that going for him on the resume. Their second round pick, they take Brian O'Neill, offensive tackle from Pittsburgh. He's a project offensive tackle. He's former tight end, tremendous athlete, but fundamentally flawed. Struggles with pass rush. Did at the Senior Bowl. Did it in college, but I mean he's got the tools. He just doesn't know. Call him an apprentice. He's got the tools to do the work, but he's got to be trained on how to do the work. He doesn't know how to do it yet. But still, not a bad guy to have. When you don't have a whole lot of needs, you can take guys like that. But you got to hope they pay off. They select Jalen Holmes next, fourth round pick out of Ohio State. Thought that was a bit of a reach. Unlike his teammates Hubbard and Taquan Lewis, just a bit of another guy there for me. Now these next picks is where the Vikings made their hay for me personally, because this is where the value starts coming in. With their two fifth-round picks, two sixth-round picks, they get Tyler Conklin, tight end from Central Michigan. Probably could be the number 2 tight end, former basketball player. Makes outstanding, just makes easy catches, makes tough catches look easy, has some good run after catch. Daniel Carlson was the best kicker in this draft. They get him in the 5th round. Just humongous leg for Carlson, bombing 50-yard field goals with ease. I had a 3rd round grade on guard Colby Gossett from App State. Thought he was a tremendous people mover. Did a good job at the Senior Bowl. He goes here in a 6th round, pick 213. And I love Ade Aruna, edge rusher from Tulane. Played out of position with the Green Wave. Should have been rushing off the edge, but they had him rushing from the inside. It just was dumb. They should have let him play on the edge and eat. But I think that's where he's going to play for Minnesota, and I think he's going to make that roster, and he's going to make an impact. They select Devontae Downs, linebacker from Cal. Don't know a whole lot about him, but the previous 4 picks I really loved. And those 4 picks drove their total value grade up to 3rd in the league. Average pick value 3rd. Their money value was 19 because I didn't like their first 2 picks, as far as value goes. But I'll tell you where they also did a great job was with the undrafted players. They bring in Holton Hill, corner from Texas. Had some issues with the marijuana, but I had a 3rd round grade on him. He gets pushed out of the draft. Corey Robertson, a wide receiver from Southern Miss. Great run after catch ability. Good route runner. Great hands. Had a 4th round grade on him. He probably should have stayed in school, but he chose to come out early. Another guy who should have stayed in school was Washington State edge rusher Hercules Mataafa. He was another player who played rush from the inside at Washington State. So that kind of killed him because nobody had ever actually seen him rush from the edge. but I think that's where he's going to play, and I would not be shocked if he made the roster in Minnesota. I like Jake Weineke from South Dakota State. He tested slow, but he's another guy that just catches everything you throw at him. Garrett Dooley, edge rusher from Wisconsin. I don't know if he makes the roster or makes a practice squad, but I think he's a guy that could make a special teams impact as well. They brought in a couple of running backs. Mike Boone from Cincinnati, who's a tremendous athlete. Wasn't as productive in college, but a great athlete. Rock Thomas was productive in college, but has some off-field issues with Jacksonville State. That's it. But I mean, that's if their roster wasn't stacked, I'd say there's a good chance 5 or 6 of these undrafted guys will make their team. As it stands, I think a lot of them could make their practice squad. But yeah. So I liked overall, especially in the later rounds, what Minnesota did. But that's going to conclude the NFC North. We're going to get into the NFC South next with the Atlanta Falcons. Thanks, everybody, for watching.